My name is Ben Walker, and I'm the CEO and founder of Arise Hotel Marketing. So today we're diving into an important topic, the 6-step bulletproof guide to an ROI-generating hotel website. So by the end of this webinar, my goal is that you can walk away with some actionable insights that you can implement right away that will drive more revenue from your hotel's website. A little bit of housekeeping. This session is being recorded. You can feel free to participate. I don't know how well that will go down given technical issues, but let's try it. But for the main part of it, keep yourself muted. If you can, keep your cameras on. Even if you're tucking into a sandwich or a coffee, I'm not offended. And feel free to use the chat box as well if you do have any questions while you've got me. There will be an opportunity for Q&A at the end as well. So let's get started with a quick question for you guys. So when it comes to your website generating a return on investment, what are the biggest challenges you're facing? Don't know if anybody wants to put anything in the chat box, what the particular challenges are. I will keep an eye out for that. Or I can just plow on. You're being a bit shy today. So, but from my point of view, I hear a question or an answer there. So Beth is saying increasing conversion rate over the past year has been a challenge. Absolutely. We're going to go into conversion rate a little bit. That's obviously a key factor in all this. So kind of along with that, the things that I think are common issues that I've heard before, and kind of see if any of these kind of resonate with you. So your website is basically isn't generating any revenue. It's just a cost to you. It looks great. It's really pretty, but nobody's actually visiting it. Or people are visiting, but they're not actually booking. That's a conversion issue. You don't have time to focus on marketing to get people there in the first place. Really slow to load. The upkeep just feels like a constant headache. Maybe you work with an agency to look at this stuff, but you don't really understand or trust them, so it doesn't go anywhere. Ultimately, kind of your marketing efforts don't seem to be paying off. I wonder if any of those do sound familiar to you. But if we kind of flip that on its head, kind of what would happen if you resolve those problems? If you could fix that challenge of getting that conversion rate much higher. So here's what could be possible. Your website transforms into a revenue and profit generating machine. It becomes a true representation of your hotel's brand and values, gets seen by the right audience. Visitors don't just look, they book. And not just anyone books, but your ideal guests start to choose you. Ultimately, marketing then becomes worth it. And just quickly before I dig in, kind of at Arise, one of our core values that people tend to laugh at is the fact that we eat our own dog food. By that we mean that we do for others what we would do for ourselves and vice versa. While we've successfully marketed many hotels, I'll admit that I don't own or operate one myself and never have. So you guys are the real experts in you. But I've tried to approach this in a way that I'm asking myself, what would I genuinely do if I were in your shoes? And I've also applied the same principles that I do use to grow my own business. So let's actually jump in and start breaking down these 6 steps to improve your website return on investment. So who do you exist for? This step is really critical, especially if you're struggling to generate revenue from your website. The problem might not be the design or the traffic. It could be that you're just not connecting with the right audience. Here's the reality, that you're not for everyone, and that's okay. Think about this. If you're a budget hotel, trying to target high income, high expectation guests, they might land on your website and leave just as quickly because you're not what they were looking for. And on the flip side, if you're a 5-star luxury hotel with a spa and you're targeting budget travelers who just want a room to stay in, they might love the look of your website, but as soon as they hit the pricing page, they'll leave straight away. That disconnect doesn't just waste time, it wastes money because you're marketing to people who will never buy, which is just throwing your budget away. So the question you need to ask yourself is, who are you for? Who does your brand exist to serve? By defining this clearly, knowing who aligns with your brand values and identity, you'll see much more traction. This is all about understanding two key things. First one is, who are you? What is it that makes your hotel unique? And the second one is, who are they? Who are the people who will see your hotel and say, you know, this is the one for me? So how can you do that? To truly understand your ideal guests, you need to go beyond the basics. So what you can do is start by creating pen portraits. You might already be familiar with pen portraits if you're in marketing. Some people call them user personas. And while they're really useful and they're a great starting point, for me, they don't go quite deep enough. To market effectively, you need to understand not just who your audience is, but why they behave the way they do. And that's where a tool called empathy maps come in. Originally, they were a UX, user experience tool, and they help you explore what drives your audience, what they think, what they feel, and want to achieve. And by stepping into their shoes, you can craft marketing messages that truly resonate with them. So this is just a very basic view of an empathy map, if you've never seen one before. And by using an empathy map, you create a sounding board for your website and all your marketing collateral as well. So then you ensure that you are speaking to the right audience and their real needs and their emotions, thus actually making a real connection. So take time to think that through. What do they want? What are their pain points? How do they go about making decisions? And use your data. So you can look at your bookings, your guest demographics, and trends in those to kind of help inform that. There's also a gold mine of information if you tap into your team's insights. They're often on the front line speaking to your guests, and they would know your guests better than anyone. And most importantly, remember this: your marketing is not about you, it's about them. You should shape everything that you do around your ideal guest. Why do that? Why tailor your audience in that way? So a client that we worked with a while back, they were an idyllic country retreat. They basically were attracting bargain hunters. They were able to refocus, get rid of these bargain hunters and instead focused on higher paying guests. Basically, rather than people who just wanted a discount, there were people who were spending more on a bottle of wine with their meal than they were with the stay anyway. And that kind of obviously increases revenue. So I kind of want to make sure that everything we do, everything we go through in this webinar is not just a fluffy idea, but you have some actions that you can take away with you. So to define who you exist for and ensure your website is connecting with the right audience, here are some actionable steps that you could take. First of all, create a pen portrait if you never have. Number 2, develop an empathy map, give it a go. Number 3, use those and audit your marketing messaging against those. So when you know who you're for, everything becomes much clearer. Your website, your messaging, your offers, they'll all then resonate with the right people. And that's foundational if you do want to start generating real return on investment. So with those foundations set, we'll rattle on to step 2. Step 2 is harnessing the power of imagery. So this step is all about first impressions. Here's the thing. Maybe you're pouring loads of time, effort, and money into marketing your website to the right people, but you're not seeing the results you expected. Or perhaps your bounce rate's really high and your visitors aren't even staying long enough to consider booking. And why is that? I think it's because people make snap judgments. In fact, they decide whether to stay on your website in just 0.05 seconds. And I looked this up to be sure, but it's literally faster than the blink of an eye. So in that split second, what are they actually seeing? What are they viewing on your website to be able to make a judgment? They likely haven't even read a single word, seen a single price, but they've already made a judgment on you. So I think they're judging based on their visual first impressions, how you look, your imagery, and your branding. If your website isn't visually appealing or doesn't align with your brand, people will just leave straight away. And that really could be due to things like outdated or inconsistent branding, poor quality imagery, or overuse of stock photos. A design that doesn't reflect the quality of your property or your chosen audience, like we just went through. I just got an example just to underline the power of imagery. So I guess kind of any suggestions on this? So what does this image make you feel? This is the kind of thing I've seen on lots of hotel websites. If anybody wants to put in the chat what that makes them feel, please do. Don't feel you have to. So for me, that doesn't really make me feel anything. However, if you skip through to the next image, the power of imagery is that, you know, you look at this photo and you think that makes you hungry. It does to me anyway. I know it's a bit cruel getting towards lunchtime, but so be sure to use the power of imagery. Use images that provoke an emotional reaction. A graphic of an A4 menu won't have the same effect. Your website imagery should instantly convey what it feels like to stay at your hotel. Use emotional triggers that then increase buy-in and make booking more likely. So to keep your people on site and to keep your people on your site, you need to get the visuals right. That breaks down into a couple of areas, like we said before. So you've got your branding. So your website design should be stunning and true to your brand. Everything from the colors to the typography should feel cohesive and intentional. Then we've got the imagery side of things. So this is where a lot of hotels actually fall short. Don't just focus on the design, but focus on the content within it. Make sure you always use professional photography that shows off your property at its best. Include imagery that tells a story and lets people know what it feels like to stay at your hotel. It's quite a cool thing that I often think about as well. Most hotels have got really beautiful places, really beautiful interiors, and don't even share that with people. You probably take it for granted what you have, being in there every day, but you have beautiful places. Share pictures of them so people can see them, they'll want to stay there. So what actions can you take on this step? So audit your website visuals. Do they reflect your property accurately? Invest in some professional photography if you haven't already, and make sure you do that on a regular basis. And make sure it captures your hotel's essence. And generate content that highlights your unique features, from the food to the rooms to the experience that you offer. When it comes to your website, looks do matter. A visually stunning brand, a visually stunning and brand aligned website will help keep visitors engaged, reduce your bounce rate, and get people that one step closer to booking. Step 3. So get seen. Don't be a hidden gem. So when I say a hidden gem, I'm not referring to a nice secluded country getaway hotel, which sounds really appealing, I know. But I mean that a lot of hotels and hotel websites are absolutely beautiful, they're wonderful, but nobody actually knows about them. Maybe you've reached a point where you've invested in a stunning website perfectly tailored to your audience already, but there's one big problem. It's a ghost town. There's no one there. The truth is, you don't want to be hidden. You want to be a visible gem, an amazing place that's seen, booked, and talked about. So where should you be seen? So obviously, Google and search are a massive part of this. So looking at stats on hotel bookings, the majority, 65%, always start out with a search engine before making a booking. So obviously be bothered about your Google presence. Reviews are key to being seen as well. A massive 81% of hotel bookers read reviews before committing. So visibility in those areas obviously is pretty foundational. So I think to get seen, you need to focus on 3 key areas. The first one being SEO, so search engine optimization. Make sure you're optimizing your content and your site speed in particular to rank higher. Reviews, obviously you need to be seen in reviews and seen positively, so encourage your happy guests to leave feedback. And paid ads as well. So using pay-per-click and meta ads to drive some targeted traffic based on your user profiles as well. So if you make it easy for guests to find you, share your website, you can do that by sharing your website everywhere and staying active on social media as well. And that visibility drives bookings, and bookings drive return on investment. So some action steps here just to start you on that path of being seen and visible. So first of all, create an SEO plan. So start to think about what you want to do about SEO if you're not currently doing anything. Encourage reviews. Find a way to encourage reviews from your happy guests. Launch some paid campaigns. Again, just start doing something to get you seen. Remember, even the most amazing property won't generate revenue if no one knows you exist. By making yourself a visible gem, you'll ensure that your website and your hotel are seen and sought after by the right people. So step 4 is all about selling more. At this point, maybe you've got a beautiful website, your marketing efforts are driving traffic, and things seem to be moving in the right direction. Great, well done. But it could be that maybe bookings still aren't quite where you want them to be. This is where things like conversion and revenue streams become really key. It's all about turning lookers into bookers and maximizing the revenue opportunities from each and every visit. So if you're struggling to convert visitors into bookings, there's a couple of questions you should ask yourself. One is, what can they buy? So are you offering more than just a room? And the second one is, how easily can they buy? So is your booking engine working properly? Things like that. So test the basics. Ensure it is as easy as possible, seamless, and mobile friendly for people to actually commit and buy. And I find that most people fixate on revenue and profit figures, which in reality are outcomes. They're not something that you can directly affect. So I like to break things down into some controllable factors, which typically are things like, so first of all, we have things that you can do. You can increase the number of prospects, kind of going back to that previous point. If you're seeing more, you have more prospects who are more likely to convert. To boost your conversion rate, improve your website so you're more likely to turn the people that visit into paid bookings. Increase the number of transactions as well. So you can also do things like add additional services. You can encourage repeat bookings. That means you will get more income, more revenue from the same visitors, essentially. And an obvious one that people tend to miss is raising your average sale. So if the quality and value of your offering support it, charge more. One example, a few years ago, the hotel we worked with, they basically realized that they weren't selling gift cards and gift vouchers. So simply by thinking about that and adding it to their website, this led to an added £8,000 to their revenue that particular year, and many more since as well. And who wouldn't want that? But how can you make it easier and more attractive for people to buy from your website, make that booking? That's where conversion rate optimization comes in that Beth kind of referred to earlier. That is essentially increasing the amount of visitors who actually convert into buyers. It's a big topic and there's many different ways that you can affect that, but here's some ideas on how you can make it easier for your visitors to book and spend more with you. So it's things like optimizing the booking experience, like we said. So actually ensuring that your booking engine is working, intuitive, mobile friendly in particular, and works fast. Look at the messaging around it as well. So focusing on the clarity of the offering, building some urgency and some trust are really key factors too. Having clear pricing, maybe it's things like real-time availability, if that's something that's on offer through your booking engine. Sometimes it is building that sense of urgency. It's not always the right thing, but messages like only 2 rooms left can help push people over that line. But I think a bigger thing is kind of trust and trust indicators. So having guarantees or cancellation policies kind of in the right places at the right time, just to encourage people that it is worth booking. It's all about pushing potential bookers to act quickly if they are going to act. To illustrate this, I just wanted to show some examples of real sites that I think do this well, and just talk around why I think these work. So here you can see, I think a classic of the hotel website is having your booking button top right, really clear. Yeah, a slightly standout color. That is where people will tend to gravitate to if they're ready to take action. It's about being in the right time at the right place. So that has to be there when they are ready to book after they've had all their questions answered. Again, like I say, so we have trust indicators. So you see in the top right, we've got a book direct up there, got best rate guarantee. They kind of build a bit of trust and kind of push people to move in the right direction. You also down at the bottom have kind of search fields as well. That's really nice thing for people because that puts them in control. I thought this was quite an interesting example, especially talking about initially about targeting to your ideal audience. I think you can see here they've got a family adventure for half term, a picture of a family having fun out and about near them. That's real sort of tailoring to that particular audience that they've identified. Again, clear booking options, top right. They've got a couple of different offerings there as well. This is quite an interesting one. So again, they clearly have quite a different audience to the previous example, but they seem to know it and tailor to it. They have quite clear navigation. They use quite a lot of what we call negative space, white space, to allow the call to actions to stand out as well. They're not cramming too much in. Slightly interesting to see the booking button top left. It would be interesting to know how that affects conversion rates, whether top left or top right works better. Sometimes it's the irrational things that you don't think about. So it's always worth testing and measuring those things. Final example, I find this is kind of like just really good emotional photography. It kind of makes, you can see what the facilities are like. You can see that you would like to go and be in that spa. So again, it's that emotional photography that kind of makes you feel like you want to be there. Clear calls to action. We've got booking in the top right. We've got booking on the bottom. Again, clear navigation as well. If you want to know about the spa, it's really clear where you go. If you're here for weddings, you see where to go. So some actionable points again for you. So step one, test your booking engine. Some people don't even think to do this, but if you go through your booking process yourself, pick up your phone, just go through it one day, or ask someone else to do it. A, does it even work? B, how seamless is it? And are there any hurdles in that booking process that are stopping people from getting through? Maybe brainstorm some revenue opportunities. Are there things you can identify that you could offer beyond just booking a room? Think about how these things could be bundled or highlighted during your booking process. And three, encourage repeat bookings. Could use follow-up emails to entice past guests with special offers, or loyalty incentives can be really good as well. So, I mean, the point of this really is that return on investment isn't just about driving more traffic. It's about maximizing the potential of every visitor. With a focus on conversions, add-ons, and repeat business, you can turn your website into a powerhouse for revenue generation. So on to step 5, get the tech right. So at this stage, you've got a great website that's visually appealing, aligned with your audience, and geared towards conversions. But here's the thing. If your site isn't technically sound, it could still be holding you back. A slow, clunky, or outdated website creates frustration for your users and makes it less likely they'll book. It also damages your SEO rankings, meaning fewer people will even find you. So this is really important. These stats from a company called Pingdom kind of highlight that direct impact that your site speed actually has on bounce rate. If you're not familiar with what bounce rate is, it's the percentage of users who land on your site but leave immediately. And if they bounce, that means they're not booking, which hits your ROI pretty hard. So basically, this graph shows that if your site loads within 1 to 2 seconds, some people do leave within that, but it feels reasonable. But if you go up to like 3 seconds plus, you can see most users actually just give up. And they're users that you have already paid for your marketing to get them to your website, and they're just giving up. So you're losing out there. So an example from one of our clients, just to focus on how in recent years, mobile has become the default. And while your site should still be designed for all devices and screen sizes, considering mobile first is no longer optional, it's essential. If your site isn't mobile friendly, you'll be missing out big time. Just an example of that I found a couple of years ago of why you should go through and check your site on mobile. So you can see on this example, on the homepage on the left, you can see that the text is completely cut off. It's a bit of a mess. The navigation, when you go through in the middle, feels quite a bit clunky. That book a room call to action actually looks grayed out. It's in the middle of everything, so people will miss that. So you're hitting your conversion rates pretty heavy there. I thought this was quite an interesting one as well. So you go through to book a room, you hit their booking engine, which basically has this listing of available rooms, and it says we are searching for our best prices. And in reality, it never finishes searching. It's just broken. So every pound they have spent on marketing to get people to their site is absolutely just going down the drain, rather than turning into bookings. But it is possible to get it right. Here's an example that I thought was good. So they have a fully responsive design. You can see that adapts to all different screen sizes. The booking process, when we tried it, was seamless. There weren't any glitches or frustration. And when everything works smoothly like that, guests stay, engage, and book. So to ensure that your website is performing its best when it comes to the technical side, here's some things that you should focus on. First of all, speed. Guests won't wait, as we saw. Test it with Google Page Speed Insights. That's a free tool. And particularly prioritize mobile load times. Things like user experience are really important. So keep it simple, intuitive, and frustration-free. Boost conversions. Accessibility. So a user-friendly site basically benefits everyone, and it improves performance overall. Make sure you have tracking set up. That's an important part of the tech stack, really, that you have proper tracking on there, and use stuff like screen recorders. There's some great free tools such as Microsoft Clarity that will let you record how people go through the site and highlight issues where they're getting stuck, so you can see them in real time. As I said, mobile first is important. Most guests browse on mobile. Test and optimize for a seamless booking process on mobile. It's worth just touching on platform as well. Basically, whether you use WordPress or Wix or Squarespace or some custom platform, whatever you use for your website, keep it updated and optimize it for SEO. Again, just a couple of actions that you could take on this area. Test your site for mobile friendliness. Visit your site, pick up your mobile one day, go through it. Is the navigation easy to use? Can you book? Test your speed. As I say, Google Page Speed is a really good free tool. There are other ones out there as well, but test your site performance. Look for areas where you can improve your load times as well. That will suggest some things you can do. And run a mobile-friendly test. So Google offer a free mobile-friendly test as well that will basically give you a yes or no answer as to whether Google see your site as mobile-friendly. So the technical website might not be the most glamorous part of it, but it's absolutely essential. When your site is fast, easy to use, accessible, and mobile-friendly, you're setting the stage for success. So let's move on to the final step. Well done, we're nearly there. We've made it to step 6, which is measure, adapt, and repeat. So at this point, you've built a beautiful functional website, tailored it to your audience, optimized it for visibility and conversions, and ensured that the technical side is rock solid too. Now the focus shifts to sustainability and growth. And here's the reality. If you're not actively growing, you're falling behind. When you take your foot off the gas, your momentum slows. So this is not a one-shot thing. If website ROI is important to you, you have to loop back through these 6 steps regularly and make sure you're ticking all the boxes. Now here's something for you to chew on. If you can't measure something, you can't understand it. If you can't understand it, you can't control it. And if you can't control it, you can't improve it. So with that in mind, I think it's important that to keep your website driven by that return on investment mindset, I think it's important that you track and test. So you need to be monitoring your traffic, your conversion rates, and bounce rates, see what's working and what isn't working. Optimize your ads if you've got paid ads. That is never a set it and forget it thing. Move your budget to the high performing ads. Take your budget away from what's not delivering as well. That will get you better ROI overall. And stay agile. Regularly review that data, tweak your campaigns, test new strategies. And if you're not tracking things, then you're guessing. It's data-driven decisions that drive bookings. So looking at some action steps, I think a really key foundational one that some people miss out on is just having a good Google Analytics setup. So having GA4 configured properly with your booking engine to give you kind of a monetary output so you can actually track conversions. You can see on this example here, this is a proper setup. So we've got kind of the different room types. You can see the different steps in the funnel. So we're going from items viewed to added to the cart to items purchased, and then the actual revenue figure that's come from that. Then obviously you can drill down into your kind of traffic sources and what is actually driving revenue. So step 1 is get a good analytics setup. Audit your ad spend. So if you have paid ads, make sure you think about that regularly and get the best out of it. And set time to monitor and adapt. So monitor your analytics regularly, commit to consistency. So maybe schedule a regular time, weekly, monthly, quarterly, to actually review your data, optimize your strategy, and test some new ideas. Review your website performance, metrics like traffic, conversion rates, booking trends, using tools like Google Analytics and Microsoft Clarity to get deeper insights as well. And here's the bottom line. If you're not growing, you're dying. It's easy to get comfortable, but the moment you take your foot off the gas, progress slows. So keep pushing forward and the results will follow. So those are the 6 steps. Before we jump into the Q&A, I just wanted to recap those 6 steps to building an ROI generating hotel website. Along the way, as we go through them, I'm going to share again a couple of actionable steps that you could take right now. And here's the thing. So after this webinar, after you've watched it, you have 2 choices. You can walk away and do absolutely nothing, which is fine, but would make me a little bit sad. Or you can take some action with what you've learned. And my challenge to you is this: commit to at least 1 action from today's session. Just 1 tiny step can make a big difference. So step 1 was connecting with your audience. So identifying your ideal guest and why they're the perfect fit for you. Step 2, harness the power of imagery. So what you can do is maybe pinpoint 1 visual upgrade, whether that's your photos, your branding, or design in general. Step 3 was get seen. So maybe just identify 1 channel that could drive more traffic for you. Step 4 was sell more. From those examples we shared, maybe identify just 1 little way that you could boost conversions by even 1%. Get the tech right. Run a Google page speed test. It takes about 30 seconds and will give you some really actionable insight. Step 6. So that was measure, adapt, and repeat. As I said before, I challenge you to schedule a recurring reminder in your calendar just to review and act on your stats. So before we move on to a little bit of Q&A, I just wanted to offer you something actionable to help you take that first step toward improving your hotel website. So we're offering a free website review for attendees of this webinar. This would include some personalized recommendations on your site's design, functionality, marketing, and performance. It's completely free. There's no obligation. I just want to help you identify some quick wins and some actionable steps that will get you a bit more ROI from your website. If you are interested, follow that link or send me an email or a message and we'll set something up. So now let's chat through some questions if anybody has any. So you can raise your hand, unmute yourself, or pop them in the chat. And I really just want to encourage you that I particularly like stupid or awkward questions. Anything is welcome. We're all learning here. So what questions do you have, if any? I'll give you 30 seconds in case there is anything, but if I've answered everything, that is great too. Cool. Well, what I find tends to happen with calls and things is that you hang up, say goodbye, and then 1,000 questions flood into your head that you should have asked. So if you do have any, you will all have my email anyway, so feel free to ask me anything, and I will do my best to answer your questions. So that's everything really. So thank you for joining. Just as a quick reminder and another shameless plug, we're offering a free website review just to help you take some insights from today's webinar and personalize them and actually do something with them. As I say, it's no obligation. You'll get some tailored recommendations. If you want to take advantage of that, follow the link, and then we will send an email out after this too. So you will have a copy of that link as well, and we will set up a time to chat. But thank you again. I hope you all enjoy your day, and I hope you take something actionable from this. And I look forward to seeing how your hotel websites grow and shine. Thanks, everybody.